Did you know that you can make design choices today that will save you money in the long run? Hey everyone, thanks for subscribing to QUARTZ Design Center, and today is a special day and we're going to be talking about different ways to have a low maintenance home. I got a really good question from one of my subscribers. Her name is Liz and she's from Massachusetts. What's going on, Liz? Here's her question. How do I update my home while keeping it low maintenance? It's actually a really good question because the updating you do today can actually save you money in the long run. Let's talk about hardwood flooring versus carpet. I've flipped hundreds and hundreds of houses, and at the beginning I used to do the entire house in a hard floor and I would do the bedrooms in carpet. What I realized over time is that buyers didn't want carpet in the bedrooms. They wanted a hard floor, and here's why. Carpet is more difficult to take care of and it doesn't last as long, and over time it doesn't look as good. If you put a hard flooring in, it's easier to clean, it lasts way longer, and most of the time it looks better. So if I had to choose between carpet and hard flooring, I will always go hard flooring. If you watch my episodes, you'll see that every single house is minimalistic once it's staged. You never want to have too much stuff in your house because it'll look smaller and it will be much busier. Less is more. And also, if you have a lot of stuff in your house, it's a lot more work. There's a lot more cleaning, a lot more polishing. There's just more stuff. So my suggestion is declutter your house for less maintenance overall. Let's talk about wood windows versus vinyl windows. Obviously, new wood windows versus new vinyl windows, pretty similar. When you watch my show, every house I buy, I redo the windows unless they're vinyl and already in good shape. The reason is nobody wants old wood windows. They're more expensive to maintain, they don't look as good, and they're just not energy efficient. If you put vinyl windows in, your house will look way better. You don't have to repair them all the time. You don't have to paint them. It stays cooler in the summer, it stays warmer in the winter, and overall, after a period of time, you'll actually save money. Now I want to talk about outdoor decking. When I bought my last house, I had a beautiful yard and I wanted to add a deck. I did a wooden deck with a dark stain. It looked beautiful the day it was done. Guess what? A few weeks later, it didn't look as beautiful anymore. It kind of looked faded and it looked a little shiny in some areas and a little dry in some areas because the weather affects the wood. It makes it expand, it makes it contract, the ceiling doesn't stay on. What I realized is I should have gone composite. You don't have to worry about staining. You don't have to worry about it warping. You don't have to worry about sun damage. For me, instead of wood, I will always go composite because how it looks today is how it's gonna look tomorrow. We just talked about decking and now we're gonna talk about countertops. Liz, I absolutely love this subject. Here's why. There are so many different types of countertops, and with all the houses I flip, I use quartz, I use marble, I use granite, so many different materials, but we're talking about low maintenance. So if I was to go low maintenance, I will always go with a beautiful quartz. Again, easy to clean, it doesn't stain, and it literally lasts forever. If you do marble, it's a different story, and I'll give you an example. The last house I bought, we did these amazing marble countertops. What we found out a week later is they stain and they look completely different. I mean, it's crazy how fast they change, and it turns out it actually costs money to maintain them because every 6 months I didn't like the look, so I'd have to hire a company for $400 to come in and buff out all the scratches and discoloration. If I had put quartz countertops, I wouldn't have any of these problems. For low maintenance, if I had to choose between quartz, marble, or granite, I would go quartz all day long. When it comes to paint, you get what you pay for. If you go with a low quality paint, it's gonna look good when you first put it on, but over time it's not gonna look as good. When you paint your house, it's a lot of money and you want it to last long term. When I used to flip houses at the beginning, I would find the lowest cost paint the house. It would look pretty good, but over time it would fade and the buyers would eventually have to repaint the house. Honestly, I flip houses to make money, but at the same time, I want to deliver a product that makes the homeowner happy and they don't have to worry about things later. So here's what I think. Well, step one, make sure you prime the house before you paint it. And when you pick a paint, go with a higher end paint. It's a little bit more money, it'll look better, and it will last way longer. One of the favorite things I like to do is get a paint and primer in one, so you don't have to do a bunch of coats and a whole bunch of different prep. I love the Sherwin-Williams line, primer and the paint all in one. My final tip today is irrigation. Here's what you need to do. Step 1, replace sprinkler heads to low maintenance sprinkler heads. Step 2, make sure you have a timer so they run at certain times every day. And don't forget, you don't want to run sprinklers during the day when it's super hot out and the sun is baking. The best time to water your lawn is going to be in the morning or at night. It saves water, which means it saves you money. Liz, thank you so much for your question, and for all my other subscribers out there, if you have a question, do what Liz did and leave it in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in to Targ's Design Center.